And I'm like, I'm in San Diego, 3,000 miles away from Miami. No idea what you're doing, what's going on. Mike goes, all right, coast is clear. I'm good. I'll talk to you later. And the phone hangs up.
Great
I,
party,
t-
by the way.
I texted him like an hour later, go, are you fine? He goes, Frankie, this party is insane. I'm great. All right, we made it to episode 6 of the VBROS Worldwide. Mikey looking phenomenal as always. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're listening to us on the podcast itself, it doesn't make any difference.
Frankie's showing off his guns today. He has his tank top on.
Well, you know what the issue is Mommy V's here as well. Hi, Mom.
Oh, hi, guys.
But I record from my apartment and I have like all glass windows. So I have to shut all the windows in here. So it's literally about 95 degrees. So if I don't have a tank top on, I'm sweating like crazy. Shout out to the class of 2021. It's crazy. I know, Mom, you're a teacher and it's just been a crazy year. And Mike and I were just talking about this a few minutes ago before the podcast started. And like the transition of life from getting to college, being in college, and then attempting to grow up into the adults that we're attempting to become years later. And it reminded me of the time it was Mike's senior year, right? Yeah. When you're playing football and parents are supposed to walk their kids out onto the field. And you and Dad were supposed to walk Mikey onto the field. What are you doing over there?
Look, I'll show you.
Oh, Mom has something special over here. What do you have? She has the photo of when I showed up on campus, kind of blurring through.
Well, why won't it come?
Because of your backdrop. So nevertheless, my dad couldn't make it to my final football game because he was sick at the time. And my brother actually walked on the field with me that night. So it's a day of a game. We have a football game. So it was a Friday night in college. And so Frankie walked, like the seniors out, and walked out with me and my mom instead of my father. But then obviously we get through the game. I had a great game. I didn't play at all, I don't think. But where my hard work kicked in for all this would be after the game, I threw the parties.
And mind you, I surprised Mike at this game. So he had no idea I was showing up. I told Mom the night before. So I walked out to a bunch of emotions on the field. So Mike had nothing really planned for me for afterwards because he had no idea that I was going to be on campus. So Mikey, being the younger, cool brother that's a man on campus, just got off the football field, was like, hold on, my brother's in town. He needs to spend the night. And invites me to a party in his, it was like a dorm / on-campus apartment. I
invented these at Stonehill College, these parties we would have, courts parties, we called them. And so basically when I was in college, I worked for like a mobile DJing company, did like weddings, bar mitzvahs and all that. And I started, so their storage was only a town over from where my school was. So I had the keys. So freshman football players, their job would be to go get the equipment. So they would get speakers, light shows, fog machines, whatever you needed, whatever professional DJ company would have, I had access to. So I would take that, I would set it up in our dorm room that wasn't any bigger than 4 cars next to each other. And we would have a full-on party in these little mini dorms. And that's how I invented courts parties at Stonehill College. So I convinced Frankie, I'm like, you got to come hang out for a little bit. You made it all the way to my college now.
So I said to Mom, I'm like, is that cool if I hang? She's like, yeah, spend the night, have some fun. So I think you went back home like right away after the game, right?
I think I might have stayed for a bit and drank and had a few drinks with your friends.
Yes. Yeah. You did. Mom came in. You guys had a party where the adults were there, and Mom had a couple of glasses of White Zinfandel. I remember that now. Yeah. And then the parents kind of left, and that's when Mike was like, "Are you going? Or are you staying?" And I turned to Mom, and she's like, "Oh, just stay. You'll have a blast."
Yes. Yeah. Mom did push you to stay because I was trying to convince you to stay. And Mom had like 3 glasses of wine already, so she's in the bag ready to go. And she was like, "Frankie, stay."
In my mind, I'm 8 years older than Mikey, so I'm 8 years out of college. So now I'm like, the old man on campus. I feel like spending the night with my brother at Mikey. Anyways, it was awesome. Like Mom leaves, all the parents leave, and then Mike rolls in those speakers. He rolls in everything else. Then all of a sudden I start seeing kegs rolling in, and I say to Mikey, I go, "Is this even legal?" He's like, "Bro, stop worrying. Who cares? It's going to be fine. We do this all the time. There's never any issues. We're going to be good." So sure enough, about a half hour into the party, Mike's got these speakers blasting. I'm the old man on campus hanging out at this college party looking like a creep. All of a sudden, we get a knock on the door, and it's the RAs or the campus police trying to shut things down. And at that point, Mike's still not having it. He just keeps his party going.
I think I refused. I think I
Yeah, you
refused.
refused to
I
shut
think
down
I
the party.
refused to shut down my party.
And then from all I remember is we drank the night away, and in the morning, on Mike's college campus, it was something like getting documented. When you got in trouble, you would get
What happened
documented.
was, so I think eventually the parties always ended at 1. So at that point, I think I gave in. The party ended, so the lights came on, the speakers turned off. But I think we still kept hanging out in the common areas or something like that. And the RA like really was like, didn't know what to do because we just weren't listening, which is like not great. But they just kept saying, "You've been documented. Just so you know, you've been documented." And I remember being like, "Cool, document me. Like what's that gonna do? Like it's just me and my brother hanging out. I'm allowed to hang out with my brother." And they just kept coming over. If you see Mike Vinci, let him know he's been documented. They were telling my buddy Jay Norton, my roommate, because they couldn't find me. I think you and me, I don't know where we went. But the next morning, Jay was like, the RAs want me to let you know you've been documented. So I got documented.
It got documented, and fast forward, documented led to being on the campus board, causing Mike to get kicked off campus for how many weeks?
Yeah, it was that documentation and also another documentation that involved the 7-Eleven. That for some reason I thought was a free stop, but it wasn't.
You walked into the 7. Wait! Don't jump over that.
Even
What
I
happened?
know that one.
What happened? Ma, tell it in your eyes. So Mikey goes into a 7-Eleven. What do you do?
I think he decided to take every sandwich sub they had there.
I mean, the real story was,
and walk out with it.
I didn't know we were going to talk about this, but the real story was, at that point, when you're in college, your football coaches really are basically your age. They're only a couple of years older, like a lot of your position coaches. And one of the coaches at that time was hanging out with us, and he was like, "Man, I could really go for a Snickers bar right now." And me and my other buddy, who had been going to 7-Eleven rather consistently, I was like, we got an idea for you. And then we took we did things that we should not have done in a 7-Eleven. I'm not proud of, and I'm ashamed of every day. And that got kicked off campus. So rightfully so. I mean, Stonewall should have kicked me off campus. It was more my fault than theirs. Actually, it was all my fault.
All your fault. So you get kicked off of campus for 16 weeks.
I can't remember.
Wait, can I say something? It was all your fault. I thought you were just there. Didn't you turn that around?
Well, it was more my other buddy's fault. We'll call him Jay, Big Jay. Because remember, I still was guilty, but I was smart. I took a combos and I bought a chimichanga. So like I was smarter. I grew up in Framingham. We knew how to deal with situations. And so they never saw me on camera, but they could see the other guy on camera taking half the store. So I got away with it, but then in my hearing, I admitted to saying I did take a bag of combos.
So that got it.
I remembered that part.
You remember that part?
We can still blame Jay if that makes you feel better inside.
No, I like Jay.
So I think I was kicked off campus the rest of the year. The rest of I could only come on campus for classes or like sanctioned events.
And I believe I found you in your off-campus abode.
Yeah, I was golfing in the front yard.
In your underwear.
In my underwear.
Speaking about underwear, that's what I wanted to get into because we're talking about graduations. Gosh, again, shout out to the class of 2021. We are going to play a game. How well does Mikey V know Mommy V coming up in a minute? But talking about boxer shorts, we fast forward to graduation day. Now, were you still living off campus when graduation happened?
So at this point, I was not allowed on campus. I was not living on campus. I wasn't living off campus either. I was kind of like, had like a female friend's house that I would just stay at.
Couch surfing.
Yeah, I was couch surfing basically, but the house was like not far from campus. So I was like, hey, school's almost over anyways. I'm just going to crash here the rest of the year.
Yeah.
That was Logan, right?
Yeah.
Who was also, if you've been listening into the podcast, and episode number 1 was the one that was passed out on the floor with a hot pocket naked on top of Mikey.
No, Michael had the hot pocket.
Oh, Michael had the pocket. Sorry,
get the story straight.
Yeah.
So you're sleeping on Logan's couch. It's the night before graduation. And what did you get into?
I remember we had a party. It was our last party. I think they call it the party on the hill or something like that, a Stonehill.
Okay.
And I probably shouldn't have been at it. And then we went to a house party. But yeah, then I just got really drunk. And when I woke up, I just remember, oh yeah, it gets even worse. Where I woke up, I didn't have my shoes with me, or think I'm on my pants. I don't know. I couldn't find really anything, but
Yeah.
I woke up and I was late to graduation. I think mom and you were like, where the hell are you? We're all here. Your whole school is here.
Well,
So I went,
yeah, mind you, it was grandma who was older then still, dad who had health issues,
yeah.
mom, me, your young niece and nephew at the time, and your sister. And we're all there for you. And
Emily.
we see
Well,
everybody lining up for graduation
the thing
except
is,
for Mikey V.
the thing is, I had a lot of issues too. Just none of them were health issues. They were personal issues. So no, so I woke up, I couldn't find my shoes. My only thing I could find was my robe, like my cap and gown, because I could pick that up still on campus.
Yeah.
So I had to go to campus in just my boxers, sandals that I found in the house, and a wife beater that I still had on. And then I put the robe on over my boxers. So everybody else was in like a tux or like shirt and tie underneath their robe, and I was just in boxers and these random like $4 sandals that people probably showered in college, when you shared showers. And I just remember getting there, and Frankie was just shaking his head at me. I think my dad laughed. I don't know. It was not a good setup. But the worst part of this whole story was, so where I slept was at my female friend's place at the time, and I went to graduation. I graduated, and the next day I moved right to Ithaca, New York for my first radio job.
Mhm.
And I hadn't like showered in this purpose. So then like 2 days later, that girl texted me something like, I just want to let you know that I think I peed the bed that night.
Wow.
Which therefore means I was still covered in urine.
Yeah, awesome.
Lovely.
As you graduated, you got through, looked like a hot mess, but you did it. You graduated.
Yeah, what good grades and everything.
Good grades and everything. Now a big radio star. And I'll tell you what, Mom, life has not changed a whole lot since that day, because as you know, Mikey did go to Miami last week for a little vacation.
I just have to say too, there's a pattern here. You
Yeah.
remember coming home once for daddy and you took the shoes out of the garbage. They were size 13 shoes.
I don't
And
remember
you-
this, but I believe it.
Yeah, you got off
Yeah.
the plane in a t-shirt, somebody else's pants, size 13 shoes. We had to take you to Walmart to get clothes to go to the hospital because you just got off the plane as is. Shirley and
Yeah.
I took you. I mean, there's a pattern, and
Yeah.
and I believe that you even were drinking this weekend now that the bars are open, and I see the same pattern happening again.
What?
Well-
I lose my clothes?
And
that too.
you don't care what anyone says. You just keep on going.
Well, that brings me to this discussion, Mom, because when he was in Miami last week, I'm just hanging out, being that mature brother that I am, watching some TV and
Were
enjoying
you in
it.
Miami?
No, I was here
No.
in San Diego, and my phone rings, and it's Mike, and he's, hey, I just I'm gonna share locations on my phone, just in case anything happens. And I'm like, share your location in case anything happens. I go, okay, fine. So then I get a text from him, our locations are shared. Mind you, I don't even know how to do that on my phone. So I call him back and go, what do you mean you shared locations? So I look, and now I can see Mikey where he's going in Miami on my phone. It's cool. So I'm watching his whole movement. And he's like, I need you to just stay on the phone with me for a few more minutes until we get to where I'm going. I'm like, where is he going? Why is this such like a major situation? He's like, it's fine. Don't worry. I'm just going to this party. I don't know anybody there, but it's supposed to be amazing. So sure enough, he's in an Uber. They show up at this house, and Mikey goes, all right, we're here. It looks legit. Just stay on the phone until I get inside.
I'm going to die someday. I didn't want to die that day.
And he goes, just make sure the location is on in case anything happens. I just want you to know where I'm at. And I'm like, I'm in San Diego, 3,000 miles away from Miami. No idea what you're doing, what's going on. Mike goes, all right, coast is clear. I'm good. I'll talk to you later. And the phone hangs up.
Great party, by the way.
I texted him an hour later. Go, are you fine? He goes, Frankie, this party is insane. I'm great. Where did you walk into and where were you going?
I met some people that were from Florida on this app, and they were basically throwing this massive party that was like just seemed like a lot of fun. And they're like, oh, we have the strippers ready to go, we have this ready to go, it's invite only, but you're all set. And actually, yeah, so then my friends that we had gone to Miami with, they had booked a table for like 3 a.m. that night at a club called Space in Miami. And I'm like, well, what am I going to do between now, 11 p.m. and 3 a.m.? I'm obviously going to jump in an Uber and go to the middle of Nowheresville, Florida, halfway, literally a 40-minute Uber. But in my head, I'm like, what's the worst case scenario? I Uber there and I don't like it. And then I Uber to the club and it's probably 3 o'clock by then. But then like halfway to this party, I realized how potentially terrible of an idea this was. And that's when I decided to share my location with Frankie. I mean, even at that point, I was like, yeah, but if it gets really bad, I should probably call him. So that's when I decided to call you and stay on the phone. But I got to this party. There was a bouncer outside. It was very safe, very secure. The strippers were there as promised, performing in the living room. It was well worth the risk that I took.
And it made me
no risk, no reward, Frankie.
And it made me feel good that no matter what, we're that close that Mikey has one phone call to make sure that he's good. And I got that phone call and he shared his location. And it was actually amazing because he never unshared it. So I've been watching him everywhere. He's been going ever since.
Still on the move. And by the way, the second I got to Miami, I called Mom. Do you remember why I called you? What I messed up there?
Yes, I do. You thought you were booking a hotel, but by mistake, he booked a hostel.
A hostel, yeah.
Which for the most part, I'd probably be into, but the surrounding people there didn't seem like they'd be fun hostel mates. So I wasn't sure if that was the best decision there. But I remember booking and be like, wow, this hotel is really cheap. I'm really excited to save some money here.
Well, parents listening in and watching this right now, as you see, your son too will graduate college someday and grow up years later, just like Mikey. Stay in a hostel accidentally and go to some stripper party in the middle of a city he's never been to before.
I still can't believe when and it was. I've been to a lot of parties in my day, and that was one of the best parties. Yeah.
So you can retire now. You're gonna throw in the towel.
No, not retiring. I think the world just opened up back in Boston. I'm like Michael Jordan coming back for his like extra season after retirement right now.
Your retirement party in full effect.
Yeah.
The lives of stories of Mikey V. And you know, it's funny. You learn a lot about Mikey on the podcast. So we appreciate you watching and listening. You learn a little about me, Frankie V. The one person we don't, granted she's a star of the show, we don't get to talk so much about her personal life. That would be Mommy V. And I know that Mikey, living in Boston, gets to see Mommy V every weekend, which is amazing. And I love that. And I'm 3,000 miles away. And I love that. And I know you guys hang up, but most of the time when Mikey's there, he's hungover. He sleeps on the couch. He eats, he goes back to bed and leaves. So I do wonder, how much does Mikey really know about his mom, Mommy V? So I have 5 questions and I want to find out how much Mikey V knows about Mommy V. There's 5 questions. Of the 5, I'm going to throw down, if I was a betting man, that you'll get 2 correct of the 5.
How much faith do you have in me, Mom?
Yeah. Out of the 5 questions, how many will he get correct?
I'm not sure I'll get them correct.
I'm going 2, Mom. How many are you going to go with?
4.
4. Wow, so Mom says you get 4. 80%.
Mom always thought I was better than I really am. So
that is true. All right. Question number 1. What does Mikey V know Mommy V on the VBROS Worldwide podcast?
I'm kind of nervous right now. Like my heart's kind of beating a little bit.
I'm wondering what he's going to ask.
Yeah. I'm kind of excited about this. All right. As you know, Mommy V is well educated. She did go to college to get her undergrad. Which college did Mommy V attend?
Hartford.
Whew. Right out the gate. University of Hartford, 1 point.
Coming in hot.
All right. How was college back then? Was it the same as Mikey's college experiences? Or was it a little bit less wild?
I think it was about the same.
Yeah. Now we know where I get it from. You know what, Mom? I'm just happy that I could step into your big shoes and continue the success.
I'm just happy that you called Frankie when you were worried.
See? Yeah.
I'm glad you guys have each other. It warms my heart.
I mean, that is true, to have a brother, have anybody in your life at every moment. That is.
Yeah, that's just the best gift ever, guys.
I loved it. I love that phone call.
It's good. He always answered my phone calls, except for that one time when I was in jail and he didn't answer.
Yeah, that's a whole different story. I was busy at my graduation for college. Speaking about warming the heart, Mommy V doesn't drink often, but when she does drink, what is Mommy V's drink of choice?
I'm 2 for 2. White Zinfandel.
White Zinfandel.
I'm 2 for 2, baby.
2 for 2. How did you become a White Zinfandel drinker?
I don't know. Daddy must have ordered it for me once.
You know why? Because that's the cheapest wine you can get. Daddy was smart. He's like, she's gonna get drunk no matter what. Let's get her the cheap alcohol. I love White Zinfandel. It's funny because when I started drinking wine, that's what I would order as well. People are like, what?
Back in our college years, it was Boone's Farm.
Yeah, Boone's Farm. That's right.
Is that a type of wine or
a sweet wine?
Yeah,
it was a type,
fruit
right?
Wine.
Fruit
yeah,
wine.
Booze Farm.
Boone's Farm.
Boone's Farm.
Yeah, we used to have
like
that at
$2 a bottle.
Yep. And then we went on to Mad Dog 2020s. I remember those things. Those were death. Did you ever have those?
No.
Guys, this is the newest episode of Tell Me How You're Old Without Saying You're Old. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
That's good. Everything that's been out of style comes back in soon enough. You're gonna see Boone's Farm and Mad Dog 2020s on the shelves again.
I'll give you a call.
All right, you're 2 for 2. 5 questions on how well Mikey V knows Mommy V. Question number 3: Mommy V got injured in the 2nd grade and was rushed to the hospital. This happened at school. What was the injury?
I lost a finger.
Damn.
Caught in the door. I'm 2
Damn.
for 3. I think now we have to make a wager about if I go 4 or 5 for 5, like I deserve something. Or you get to do something.
Yeah, Mom will cook you dinner on Sunday like she does every
She
Sunday.
does it every Sunday.
I'm actually impressed that you've gone 3 for 3.
I'm a much better son than you thought, Frankie.
That you know what? You have proven me wrong. Question number 4 on how well Mikey.
I may have proven you wrong. Mom, am I making you proud?
Always do.
You thought I was drunk for 32 years straight.
Now, I know you were, but
apparently you retain memory even when you've been drinking.
which is surprising.
I know.
You're a skill.
All right. You're listening to the VBROS Worldwide Podcast. Mikey V, Frankie V, Mommy V. Question number 4 for Mikey V on how well do you know Mommy V? When we were kids, Mommy V worked multiple jobs to help pay the bills. Besides teaching, name 2 other jobs that Mommy V did.
Definitely Honey Donuts.
Honeydew Donuts, worked at a donut shop.
But also, she worked at Snyder's, which is Dad's like clothing store at one point. Didn't she bust tables at one point and maybe a bagel spot? Hold on. This is a lot of pressure.
All right, you got the donut shop correctly. Mom worked at Honeydew Donut.
So
That is
we need
correct.
one more legitimate job that she had.
Yeah.
She definitely ran the register at one point at Dad's.
That was just like filling in. That was just helping out. I
Okay.
mean, actually, an actual job that Mom did to get some
She
extra
got
finances.
flamboozled, she said.
That was that. Yeah, so she lost money at that job. We're talking about jobs she actually gained money.
I did it from home. You were on the table in your baby chair.
You did it from home? I was on the what?
You were in your you were on the table in your in your baby swing when I first started in your carrier. As you got older, Daddy was arrested once while I was doing it at the table.
You were selling drugs?
No.
Mike's like, you a stripper?
We hired one of those once,
I
remember?
remember that. Yeah, Daddy's 40th birthday party.
Hold on. I'm gonna figure this out.
It has to do with math.
You did it. Oh, you tutored.
She tutored. Yes, Mommy was a tutor.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll give you like half a point on that one. Yeah, half a point on that one. 3.5. I also had down that you cleaned houses. I remember cleaning.
I did Kathy Skinner.
Yeah, Skinner. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I did home. Yeah. It was I took care of elderly people who were homebound, and I cleaned their house, did their shopping.
Yeah.
But changed it, cleaned them up, turned them.
And you know what I liked about that? The lady you talked about, Kathy, used to get the government cheese, like those big squares of cheese, and Mom would bring home this big block of cheese, and I would just sit there and just slice it piece by piece and eat that whole damn thing. Look at that stuff you learned about Mommy V, Mike.
I mean, I was gonna say a Hebrew school teacher, but that goes like hand in hand with teaching, right?
Which is also another side hustle Mom did, but I was avoiding the full on teaching. But yeah, Mom was also a Hebrew school, and to this day a Hebrew school teacher.
Yeah.
Side hustle. All right.
I'm 3.5 or 4 so far.
All right, perfect. And the 5th and final question. Now, this one is the money question. There's no chance Mikey knows this answer, by the way. No chance Mikey knows this
I
answer.
probably don't either.
Yeah.
If I don't know it and Mom doesn't know, it doesn't count as a question.
I'm pretty sure Mom knows this answer. All right, get to know how well Mikey V knows Mommy V. 5th and final question. Currently, you've got 3.5 points. Mom said you'd get 4 points, so you need this one correct to beat Mom's over/under. You've already beaten my spread.
You set the bar so high.
Yeah, all right, here it is. 3.5 points. Final question. Mommy V married Daddy V. How did Mommy V and Daddy V meet?
Oh, no, I think I do know this, actually. Hold on, give me a second.
How did Mom meet Dad? Mom, I hope you know the answer to this question.
No, I think you've told me this, but I get these stories confused. I know how Aunt Nancy met
Uncle Charlie.
Yeah.
How did Mom? Well, I mean, I think the true story is Mom was dating 2 guys at once.
Well, that's not how I met Daddy, though.
No, how did?
That's how Nancy met Uncle Charlie.
Yeah. All right, Mike. 5.
No. Not give me the countdown. You're gonna stress me out. I don't need stress. It's supposed to be anti-stress. My work's stressful enough.
We're trying to figure out how Mommy V
met
met Daddy V.
Dad?
Mike has 3.5 points on the board. Mom said you'd get 4 points. You've already surpassed the 2 points that I had you lowballed.
I feel like I know this, though. I just can't think of it right now. How did Mom meet Dad?
Running out of time. This podcast.
It was through a friend of a friend, but I can't remember. Much. I'm not gonna get the right answer here. I don't want to.
Mom, explain to Mikey how you met Dad.
Give him the half.
Yeah, you get a half a point on that. You met through mutual friends.
I was dating someone, and he was standing me up that night.
Yep.
So he sent Daddy instead to entertain me that night.
And he sure as heck did.
The rest is history.
That's where the white Zinfandel comes into play. The rest is history.
No, it was Boone's Farm then.
Yeah, that's how Mom met. You didn't know that?
Yeah, I
feel like
was
I've heard
dating
that
Bobby
story.
Gutowski.
Yeah, I get that story confused with the one with Aunt Nancy, Uncle Charlie, I think.
All right.
That
well,
one I was dating Uncle Charlie's brother, and I brought Nancy with me.
That one I know,
Met
yeah.
Uncle Charlie.
people are learning a whole lot about the VFM right now.
So it wasn't Tinder or Bumble, Ma?
No.
And it wasn't Facebook either.
I don't have an account anymore. Be quiet.
We gotta say that for episode number 7. Next week we'll talk about how Mom got kicked out of Facebook and they won't return her page.
I'll make you feel better than Mom. I'm banned from Tinder. True story. I've appealed it twice. Doesn't
All right. That's episode 7 next week. I want to talk about how Mike got kicked off of Tinder and how Mom got kicked off of Facebook. Can we discuss that in the next episode?
I guess. Still mad about it.
All right, perfect.
So am I.
Poor Mom's bored every day at home.
No
you got
cigarettes.
nothing.
No
cigarettes.
no Facebook.
Just this little old podcast we're doing, the VBROS.
Wait all week for it.
Mikey, always a pleasure. Great job as always. Mom, love seeing you. And next week we find out why Mike got kicked off of Tinder. And we found out why Mom got kicked off of Facebook.
There we go. Pow.
All right. We appreciate you for following us. At Mikey V on air, at Frankie Vizzo, at the VBROS Worldwide. We appreciate you.